Kill the beat.
I don't know who, somebody need to hear this. Y'all don't speak Hebrew, that's Yiddish. How the fuck you try to label us anti-Semitic? We the Israelites, blacks, native Hispanics. The Germans getting locked up for the Holocaust. Meanwhile, black people still up in the Holocaust. 100 million of us died in the transatlantic. 6 million died, y'all want the world to never forget it. You can never be a Jew, you a Ashkenaz. This ain't a star dum-dum, a gun die or die. Yeah, Yeezy told the truth and got ostracized. Not one person in the Bible had on a yarmulke. We were slaves in America like we was in Egypt. Y'all don't even fit the curses in the Torah neither. Y'all was blind to the truth, I had to make it clear. How Jerusalem, your land, your people came from Europe. That was 1947, your menorah got 9 sticks, it's really only 7. Yeah, it's us against the world, Armageddon. This what happened when you inherit lies from your ancestors. Y'all the synagogue of Satan with them black hats. Your whole nation sitting ducks, Aflacs. Bunch of thieves and culture vultures, ain't nothing kosher. To tell the truth, you vagabonds don't have a culture. Macedonia, Alexander and Philip, you a convert, so tell me, how the fuck is you Israel? That don't make you the people just cause you litter. Why my people can't hate your people like y'all hate Hitler? All the prophets was black and was called nigga. Y'all don't even fit the description that's in the scriptures. Abraham, all the way down to Jacob, we the real Jews. Y'all don't study Christ, y'all follow the Talmud. Keep it real, yeah, let's keep it real. Cold hard truth, it give you chills. Say y'all Jewish cause y'all ain't really them. About to do them like Hammond, it's the Feast of Purim. UPK undefeated, this an easy win. We was born fighting, y'all the evil twin. Jacob took hold of his heel, then out came his little red bastard, they kosher deals. It's only 12 tribes, y'all trying to make it 13. Esau despised his birthright, the Lord cursed him. He ain't the devil, who is? I'm still searching. Ask your rabbi, why he get them babies herpes? I don't know what's worse, that or you claiming that you a Maccabee. I'm about to cancel, everybody try to cancel ye. I ain't afraid to speak, this what I do. They riding to the core, I'm just judging them by their fruit. Cause they ain't suffering curses. If I was carnal, I promise I'd punch you in person. I know this an uncomfortable subject. They making millions off our culture and black people suffering from it. Yeah, they don't believe in Christ, they the Antichrist. Make a living off of niggas, they a parasite. I ain't afraid to tell the truth, niggas terrified. I'm about to go DEFCON 4, I ain't satisfied.
That is proof. That is absolute proof that they know we are the real Jews. That's absolute proof. Now you got the records. Go find me a white Jew on any archaeology in Egypt anywhere. You will never find a piece of archaeology with white people as slaves in Egypt. So don't tell me that they were slaves and it's their identity, and they know it. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not. The Lord knows the blasphemy of you so-called white people that say you are Jews and you are not Jews. You are not the people of the law. You are not God's chosen people. God's chosen people are living in the ghettos of America. God's chosen people are in poverty and depression in the streets of America. God's chosen people are walking around in America with no identity. That's where God's chosen people are.
Okay.
Oh no, you too all preach. First and foremost, man, hey, let's go ahead and start off with giving the Lord a hand, though.
So the volume right real quick. Testing.
Yo.
All right, we too all. All right. Hey, Tuesday night brotherhood class, man. First, all right, we gave the Most High a hand. Let's give my brother a rocking hand. Officer rocking.
Most High Christ.
ISUPK SoCal, ISUPK Las Vegas has linked up. You know what I'm saying? We about to do it big right now. The water for y'all tuning in. You know what I mean? Hit the chat, put in your questions, put in your intake. You know what I mean? Let's rock this out. All right. So today's topic, we're gonna get into, you know what I mean, adding on to adding on to our problems, which us as Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, you know what I'm saying, we already have enough problems already as it is. You know what I'm saying? We are cursed within this realm of all oppressors. You know what I'm saying? So we have an issue with wanting to continue our oppressors' plot. You know what I mean? To destroy us. Our oppressors literally come to us to make destroying ourselves popular. You know what I'm saying? Whether when it comes to the lifestyles, the music, the entertainment, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? They come to us to make it cool in order for us to, how can I say, go viral on destruction, and then particularly consume ourselves with the destruction that they want us to kill ourselves with, whether that be drugs.
If I
Yeah,
may,
right.
So like, go ahead and finish what you're about to say.
No, go ahead, my brother. Go ahead.
All right, and if I may, just like to add on to what you just said, because what you said was heavy, you know what I'm saying? But another big issue that we have, which is going with, like, you know, with tonight's topic, right, is the fact that so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans have a hard issue with accountability. You understand? Right. And the main thing that we're going to be going, you know, the main topic tonight that we're going to be going over is basically us judging one another so that we can take accountability for our actions. You understand? Right, of course, what we're going to do is we're going to go through, you know, we're going to see what the Bible actually says and not deal with, you know, that Christian feeling, you know what I'm saying, where, oh, only God can judge me and whatnot. We're actually going to get down to the bottom of the matter and see what the Bible actually says about, you know, judging one another. Because the thing is although that somebody may be trying to make something, you know, some stupid, sick, disgusting wicked act cool, the only reason why that is able to be done, like take, for example, you know, OnlyFans being a big thing, or women going out to the beaches and basically wearing their undergarments. They're wearing a bra and panties. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, it being cool to sell drugs on the corner. All of these things are cool because nobody is holding them accountable because of that Christian phrase of only God can judge me. You understand? Where only God knows their heart. You get what I'm saying? And so we're going to get down to the bottom of that matter and see what the Bible actually says about judging one another. And then that way we can get one step closer to understanding that, you know, for so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans to actually turn their lives around, it starts with us. It starts with us at the base level here on earth, where we actually do judge one another in a righteous manner so that we take accountability for the wicked acts of which we conduct. And so, like, I didn't mean to cut you off like that.
Oh, no. You too off. Slacky, hold on. I'm over here.
Yeah, you too off.
Wrong people. Hold on. Oh yeah, so Most High in Christ. So all right, so getting into this topic, you know what I'm saying? Very heavy topic. Please put in your intake in the chat, you know what I'm saying? Shalom Lord Christ. Was that hey, Shalom Lord Christ, sis, what's going on? So yeah, most definitely. What else we got here? Okay, so you wanted to get into the topic of first going into like the culture that destroys us, which, you know what I mean, just saying culture as far as like the things that our oppressor gives us as a lifestyle, like gangbanging or how can I say over masculine women, or you know what I mean, and what you want to get into is the topic of the end result, right? If I'm not wrong, the results and end result of the Pride Month, or the lifestyle of the LGBTQ community.
So basically, I mean, what the topic is supposed to be for today, right, is it's everything as a whole. So just like what the title says, it's locking, man, my tongue all tied up. Like what the title says, adding to our problems. You understand? Right. So it's not necessarily just one thing, but I think this is a good time to have this class because even though that it's, you know, it's deemed the LGBTQ, you know, month, it's also called Pride Month. And anybody that is in their wickedness, you understand, whatever kind of wickedness it is, they're prideful with it. You understand? So it can be as simple as, you know, it could be the alternative lifestyle. we gotta watch what we say, right? Are we only on YouTube, or like can we be a little bit more loose with our vernacular? I'm not sure what all you streaming. So
I mean, we're not on TikTok, but certain words we probably want to like, you know what I mean?
All right. Okay.
Like
But so yeah, you know, we're not just gonna necessarily just hit on, you know, the rainbow thieves, but you know, also, you know, things like, you know, the whole instance that had happened with Sexy Red. You was telling me that you wanted to talk about that. I already know you're gonna have more information on that than myself. I'm not very knowledgeable on that, but the basis of just wicked women, period, you know, that is also included in on this. Any type of wicked, evil mannerisms is, you know, is everything that I want to cover in a nutshell. It's just the foundation of it is if we simply just judge one another righteously, or in other words, because righteous judgment is holding each other accountable for your actions. You understand? No matter what the consequence is. You get what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's just simply holding each other accountable for what you did. And if we were to actually, you know, so, you know, the black man, the Latino man, and the Native American man were to actually keep each other accountable, and especially our women accountable for their actions, we wouldn't have these issues with women walking down the street in just a bra and panties. You know what I'm saying? Or getting on the stripper pole, or, you know, or even being partakers of this alternative lifestyle in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Because they know that there would be a consequence for their actions. There'd be a consequence for, you know, who they are affiliated with. Just like even for us being in the Isupk, you understand? There's a consequence for us following the law, statutes, and commandments and keeping them. You understand? Us being priests and prophets of the Lord, there's a consequence for it. Now, it's going to be a whole lot different than those that are selling drugs on the corner or, you know, dancing on that stripper pole. But the point is everything that you do has a consequence. You get what I mean?
All right. Oh, definitely.
Exactly. No, and Sis said it solid. Madaba said holding each other accountable will also help us separate from the oppressor. You understand? And that's one of the big things I want us, you know, in today's class to get that understanding is that we are supposed to hold each other accountable. And that's part of what is going to make us grow as a nation to be better. And for crying out loud, you know, we all got to understand that the Lord is waiting on us. We're not waiting on the Lord. So we get ourselves right. You understand? Then the Most High is going to send Yahweh Shai, and that's when it ends. But we gotta prepare the kingdom for Him. You understand? You understand? For Him to come in and sit on His throne. You get what I mean?
Most definitely. Let's get into it, my brother. So with all these different type of I like to call them attacks, because I feel like Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans naturally don't have this type of characteristics. You know what I'm saying? It's something that was brought to us in a sense that it could possibly get us through poverty, or it could possibly distract us from the traumas that we face on a day-to-day basis. You know what I'm saying? Right. So what I say, like getting us through poverty, like, you know what I mean? Associating ourselves with certain groups and certain organizations that have absolutely no interest in developing us as a people. You know what I'm saying? Giving us lifestyles that look like they're glamorous, but really it's just a rabbit hole into destruction. You know what I'm saying? It's more so like being like a drug dealer, or being like a slut. Like, because today's age, being a slut is the new route to popularity, to a new hustle, to all that things. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I wanted to get into that topic. And also with the LGBTQ community, you know what I'm saying? Like, them associating ourselves with them being a distraction from the poverty that from the traumas that we face on a day-to-day basis. We want to link in with other communities who feel like they're oppressed, who want to make it seem as if they're being treated dirty, and they want to add their so-called oppression to our oppression. So we we support and we back up and we make popular their organization instead of worrying about our own. You know what I mean?
No,
so yeah, so this is a very, very heavy topic. You know what I mean? I'm gonna let you rock out. You want to get those precepts in, or you want to just get right on to the community, the culture base of the situation?
You can start off with the culture based situation if you want to. We go ahead and do that.
All right. So going like just kind of feeding off what we was just talking about. We are destroyed enough already that we don't need to be adding anyone else on to our oppression. You know what I'm saying? This community, which we're talking about, the confusion, the sexual confusion community, to keep it, you know what I mean, light. You know what I mean? They've added on to our oppression and made it seem as if, you know what I mean, we are united as an oppressed group and pretty much fed off of the traumas and struggles that we face on a day-to-day basis and put themselves in the same type of category of an oppressed people. So they fed off of our energy, fed off of our hurt and pain, and used it to manipulate and make themselves as a popular group, more popular than ours now. Because where are we at right now? We at Gay Pride Month.
Right.
Damn it, I said it. I mean, technically it's Gay Pride Month. That's what it is. Right. It's not, you can't get flagged for that. That's exactly what it is. You know what I'm saying? So they got their own month. And not just that, their month is longer than our month.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts. No, hey, if I may though, because what you're saying is heavy, man. Like the last couple of days, I watched this video, right? This brother was talking about how he claims he don't play for that team, and he's actually a heterosexual man. But he was talking about how he's been listening to these people living the alternative lifestyle, or like you said, the sexually confused lifestyle, right? And he went to one of those, he went to one of their little gay pride meetings or whatever to see what they were talking about. And basically the whole time, and he said he was the only straight, the only straight black man there. Everybody else, because it was like one of those BLM Pride Month, or BLM alternative lifestyles, right?
Right.
So he was the only straight black man there, and everybody's just talking about how terrible their lives are as a alternative lifestyle black man in America, and this, that, and the other. And so he says he speaks up, and he's just like, okay, yo, like we all get it, and who gives a damn that y'all swing this way? Like you like this in your behind, and you like to do this, that, and the other. But why isn't it that nobody is actually up here talking about, why we don't have our own banks, why we don't have our own hospitals? Like you guys literally stole the spotlight from our oppression from when we was actually starting to get some sort of how do you say the word? Like he was starting to get some tread on his track. I guess it's how getting momentum. Right. We were starting to get like some sort of momentum to build up our people, but then y'all want to, take us 5 steps back because you want people to know what your sexuality is. That is more important than, us actually getting our own businesses, having our own hospitals, our own banks, et cetera, et cetera. You get what I'm saying? And that in itself lets you know that this is all one big, huge traction, the water. Yep, that's one big huge agenda of which not only that community has put together, but it was the blueprint of that community's agenda was put together by our oppressor. You get what I'm saying? To take away, like what the brother said, to take away all of our traction, all of our momentum. And quite frankly, that just puts us in a position where the only ones that we can actually lean on is Commander General Yohana and his priests and prophets of the Lord in the Isupk. You understand? Because we're the only ones who will not compromise our position. You get what I'm saying? But Salaki.
And to jump off of what you were saying, to make it make sense for the ones who don't really know what we talking about when we big up Commander General Yohana and the Isupk and the priests and officers in here. You know what I'm saying? We bring Blacks, Hispanics culture. Culture means everything to a race of people who have absolutely nothing. You know what I'm saying? They didn't just take our opportunities within this nation. They took away our existence. You know what I'm saying? They took away our culture. They took away who we were as a people. All we were taught at growing up is that slavery happened and that's it. We don't know anything before that. Y'all came from Africa, slavery happened, that's it. You know what I mean? We don't know nothing. You know what I mean?
They're changing that. They're changing the fact what slavery even was, that it was a voluntary service.
Voluntary service. So, you know what I mean? They don't want to just strip you away from the opportunity of being a thriving community in their nation. They want to take you completely out the story in general. You know what I'm saying? Like they even made Christ white. Come on now. You know what I'm saying? Like just like let's make this make sense. Like the thing that's most important about culture is that you can identify as something. That's why it's the most important thing to identify yourself as an Israelite, because you know your history, you know who your God is, you know your law, statutes, and commandments, you know things that you can do as a people on your day-to-day basis. But if you're walking around blind, deaf, and dumb with no identity at all, you're going to do whatever everyone tells you to do. And that's why everybody's so stuck on trying to go viral or trying to be popular or trying to be within the circle of other people's perspectives. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is why culture is important, because when you see the Asian community, they will travel an hour just to go shop in a store that is owned by their own people, rather than go across the street and shop and just go buy their groceries and somewhere that's right in their community. They'll travel and support their community because they know their identity, they know who they are, they know where their money's going, and they know that it's processing within their benefit. We don't know that. We just go off of what's that? Black Lives Matter, LGBTQ. We're going off of everything that everyone has given us. What was Martin Luther King's thing? I don't know, but you know what I mean? We're going off of everything that everyone has given us and told us that it was beneficial for Black people, and we just jump off of that. We thrive off of what our oppressors give us to be able to identify ourselves as something that's important within this nation. This is why we're saying that the ISUPK is important, because we bring culture to ourselves. We bring laws and statutes and a lifestyle that we can live. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to get that nowhere else. You're not going to get that in the Christian church. You got Christian churches telling you to go out and go vote for a new president. And we've been voting for how many decades now? How many centuries? Well, how many decades? How long have we been voting for someone to be the great white hope for us? And how has that changed our situation? It hasn't. Right. I mean, only a person that's insane does the same things over and over and doesn't see the same results, but expects different results. You know what I mean? You got to be insane to do that. You know what I mean? That's the definition of being insane. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't try to expect things to happen different when you've been doing the same things over and over again and not seeing any difference. You know what I'm saying? Every 4 years, you go out and go vote for what? What are you voting for?
And
you know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Yeah, if I may, like, to that point, which is really heavy, like, the Bible is so doggone heavy, right? Because, like, and we're not going to pull, I'm just going to paraphrase it real quick. In Ecclesiastes, what is it? I believe it's 1:9, just to paraphrase it, where it says that, you know, there's no new thing under the sun. Right. You know what that old way of, you know, how the presidents are trying to fight for that Black vote today, you know what it was before? It was the 3/5 compromise. You understand? Where it took what it was 3/5 of the slave counted as a vote. You understand? So you were, as a slave, you were still technically able to vote, but you was only a 3/5 of a count. You get what I'm saying? And so, but yet they were still trying to get your vote. They were still trying to persuade you. And what is the difference from yesterday to today? It's still slave masters. They still want you under their boot. You understand what I'm saying? This whole presidential voting This, these like presidential elections. I believe this is actual the year of the Senate as well, if I remember correctly. But all of these elections, what are they ultimately going to do? What are they going to do for you, so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American man and woman? Because at the end of the day, I mean, the only reason why they released us from slavery is because Abraham Lincoln had recognized the fact that to save America, he had to release the slaves because of all that free labor. The economy was going to burst. So in other words, you are just an economical tool. You black man, you Latino man, you Native American man, and women as well. You understand? You're just an economical tool. That's it. You understand? And it's the same thing today as well. We're looked at nothing more than an economical tool. You understand? That's why it's always such a big deal when Cat Williams goes out to St. Louis, or Kevin Hart goes out to New York, or so-and-so goes out to Cleveland, because now that city gets buku money because of the entertainment comes in. Now money comes in for that city. You understand? It's nothing new than what it was yesterday as when you come into today. You understand? You blacks, Hispanic, blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans just need to wake up to the reality of things, to see them for what they really are. And that's the fact that these people are really not for you. They will give you all of these doggone distractions, like hell, even the Black Lives Matter movement is nothing more than a distraction. You know why? For someone who is sitting there saying that a Black Life matters, first and foremost, it was created by a Black lesbian. How are you going to say that Black Lives Matter, but you're a lesbian? You understand? You're not creating lives. You're not creating more Black lives. If Black lives really mattered to you, then you would go get yourself a Black husband and let him put a Black child inside your womb. That is actually caring for Black lives. You understand?
And keep that Black man in that house.
Go ahead.
No, I was just adding on, and keeping that Black man in the house as well. You know what I mean?
No, facts, exactly. But then not only that is, okay, when America decided that its lives had mattered, when lives were being taken away, what did America do after the Twin Towers went down? They went to war with the people. You understand? Right. They took up arms and flew across the Great Pond and declared war with the Afghanis and the Iraqis. You understand? But yet, when they're taking our lives, what do? We march, and that's showing that you care for your people's lives. You understand? And this isn't me going in and saying, hey, y'all, go grab your torches and pitchforks, go grab your weapons and bear arms. Let's go to war right now. No, because we have our own type of warfare. You understand? Right. As a Black, Latino, and Native American man and woman. You understand? And we'll teach you that warfare when you come into the Isupk under Commander General Yohana. We will teach you how to fight the way that the Most High God had ordered us to fight. You understand? And all we have to do, it is as simple as this. You stick to that spiritual warfare. You separate from all of these other, all of those distractions. You understand? Those distractions that keep you from following after the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments. Salakia.
So, if I may, I want to read Jeremiah 10:2.
Yeah. Let me get that for you.
Oh, I got it right here, sir. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 10 and verse 2. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. So the Lord is telling us not to follow the ways of the heathen. You know what I'm saying? And yet we consistently allow the heathens to infiltrate our culture. Well, the culture that we try to make up for ourselves, like hip hop, or, you know what I mean, our sense of fashion, our sense of music, whatever it is. We allow our oppressors to infiltrate it and them to dictate what we can listen to, what we can make as a unit for our people, what type of how can I say, scripts we can make for movies, and type of songs we can make to put out on the radio. They dictate all those things. So anything that could possibly build us up as a people, it automatically gets shut down. Anything that can give us any type of insight of wanting to think for ourselves and build ourselves up and put into our own community, it gets shut down. This is why we don't learn the ways of the heathen, because the Lord wants us to be holy. He wants us to be separate amongst ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And being separate amongst ourselves, we learn to love each other. We learn to appreciate each other instead of looking at each other as the enemy all the time. Looking at each other like they're the competition. Men versus women, men versus men, this hood versus this hood. All these different things to keep us separated and to keep us in a mindset of hostility towards our own nations. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to understand that our culture is exactly what the Lord brought to us in these scriptures. We have to understand who we are as a people in these scriptures, and we got to understand that God is not for everybody in this book. And sometimes it's okay to be separate. We see everybody else being separate, and we don't bat an eye at it. But as soon as we start to say, "Oh yeah, the Christ didn't die for everybody; He only died for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. God only chose Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to be His people." Then all of a sudden, it brings a chip on our people's shoulders. Can't say anybody else's, and nobody else really cares. We can say whatever we want; it doesn't disturb their peace. But when we say it amongst our own people, then all of a sudden that hostility builds up, because this is not what they were taught as they grew up. This is not what they were taught in their religious establishments. You know what I'm saying? This is not what they were taught in their households at their granny's house. You know what I'm saying? They were taught to respect that white man or that Asian man. They were taught to treat them better than you treat your own brother. You know what I'm saying? And we know that because of how we see them now. You know what I mean? We can look at our own people, walk up the street and want to cause harm to our people because we think it's sketchy. But we can see a white person in a suit walk up our street and not bat an eye at it, not thinking that this is probably the most dangerous person that's coming in our community. You know what I mean? Right. So that's the thing. Like, it's programming that has been brought to us by our oppressors, and the Lord says, "Follow not the ways of the heathen." You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? That goes into just what our topic is just we're adding on to our own problems, our hate for our fellow brothers and sisters. If we knew the law, statutes, and commandments, you know what I mean? Love your brother as you loved yourself. You know what I mean? We wouldn't have that issue of adding violence to our neighborhood or adding theft in our neighborhood or anything like that, because we would be too busy trying to follow the law that the Lord gave us. You know what I mean? Not to steal from our brother, not to kill our brother, not to harm our brothers. You know what I mean? Not to sleep with our brother's wife. You know what I mean? We would dictate our whole character in that type of manner, and we would have peace within our own community. But we don't have peace is because we've been infiltrated, and we think like the white man. We react like the white man, and that's exactly what's going on in our lives. It says our people love Massa more than he loved himself. That's real talk too. You know what I mean? The we sick mindset. You know what I mean? As soon as the slave owner gets sick, this is we sick. You know what I mean? You should have seen how people reacted when that story came out about Justin, what is his name? Justin Bieber, when the side of his face shut down or something like that. You know what I mean? Our people, you just or even when what is that? When something that happened in Israel and people were putting up flags on their profile pictures, the Israeli flags on their profile picture saying free Israel or Palestine. I don't know what it was, but our people are quick to react when it comes to other nations' issues. And we are not quick to react when it comes to our own issues, which is why we still follow the same two-step that our oppressors want us to follow. You know what I mean? Right. We still serve his holidays. We still go out and vote for him. You know what I mean? Like, at this point, they don't got to do nothing for us but put out a tennis shoe, and we'll go out and vote for them. You know what I'm saying? At this point, we just glad that they acknowledged us. At this point, you know what I mean? That's how destroyed our people are at this point. You know what I mean? They don't
vote in a felon,
right?
Over a shoe.
right, exactly. And this is a full-blown criminal. Well, both of them criminals in general, but either way, like, you know what I mean? You got Joe Biden. He putting the women, the old women of the church, on his stage, taking photos and making it seem like they just for our people, and it's just a photo. It benefits us nothing at all. It's a photo with a bunch of old black women who don't know why they there or what they doing. They just standing there with big old smiles on their faces, like something gonna change in their life. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing. It's just a photo. Like, there's nothing benefiting us. They're like we've become so low as a people that they can destroy us on a day-to-day basis and not even have to feel like they need to apologize in order to get our vote. They know we going out to go vote for them. You know what I'm saying? That's all I got. You got something else?
Oh no, nah. You got it. I just heavy points though, for sure. But actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and go to that precept that I had lined up in 1 Corinthians 2:14. You know what I'm saying? We'll just bring out the fact that, you know, a lot of these things are even able to happen and continuously happen is because we do not hold our own accountable. You understand? And you can look at the other nations and you can see they hold their own people accountable. You understand? Like, take for example, man, you know, if somebody in the Asian community, if they F up, right, you know, their community will deal with them. Then not only that, you know, their community is going to deal with them on several different levels, because they're saying, not only did you just put a stain on our family name, you putting a stain on our nation. You understand? They actually have pride in who they are, or to what the brother was saying earlier, they have pride in their culture. You understand? And they hold their culture to a certain standard that if somebody steps out of line, man, hey, we gonna deal with you. You get what I'm saying? They hold their own accountable. You understand? And if the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American men and women will just come back to their culture, first of all, learn their culture so that they can come back to it, so then that they can also learn how to properly hold each other accountable, we can actually turn these things around. So then, first of all, we will no longer be the tail, but be the head like we're supposed to. You understand? But also, in my opinion, this is one of the best parts about it, is that we won't have to, you know, have our children come into the world and we have to worry about them acting a goddamn fool. Where, you know, oh, is my daughter gonna get caught up in drugs? Is she gonna get pregnant before, you know, she's even 16? You understand? You know, is my son gonna get, you know, shot and killed before he even graduates high school? You get what I'm saying? We don't have to worry about those things because we are all holding each other accountable. You understand? Go ahead and read that when you got it. 1 Corinthians 2:14, Baba Kasha.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 14. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of God, for they are foolishness unto him.
For they are foolishness unto him. You understand? That's why anytime that you see us out on those street corners, you always see these Christians try to come up and, you know, they try to say that we're ridiculous just because of the fact that, you know, we show them the true identity of what, you know, Yahweh Shah Mashiach in the Hebrew, or as the world ignorantly knows him as Jesus Christ in the English. You know, what he actually is supposed to look like: a black man with white woolly hair. You understand? We tell them that, you know, this white Jesus is Caesar Borgia and he's an imposter. You understand? Or, you know, the fact that, oh, we're not supposed to keep on eating, or it's like we're not supposed to eat pork, shrimp, crab, lobster. We're not supposed to eat these unclean foods. We're not supposed to do X, Y, and Z. And what does the foolish man, the man in the world, what does he think of them? He thinks of them as foolish. You understand? Where you go, well, you know, I'm sitting here eating pork and I don't see God striking me down. I don't see God doing anything to me while I'm enjoying these great giant snow crab legs. You get what I'm saying? It's all foolishness to him until his ass is in that goddamn waiting room to see the doctor because he got high blood pressure because God told him not to touch that goddamn food in the first doggone place, right? Go ahead and read on.
Neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned.
Because they are spiritual. They won't even know them in the first place because they're not even concerned with their spirit. They're not even concerned with, you know, those are always the ones, the people who are not spiritually discerned are the people like Drake, where they say, YOLO, you only live once. You know, live your best life. You understand? This is your one and only opportunity. Why miss it? Go ahead and go base jumping off that cliff and just hope you don't die. I hope your chute opens up and you don't die. You understand? That's what those people, you know, that's how they think. You understand? But that's because they aren't spiritually discerned. Go ahead and read 15, Baba Kachai.
Verse 15. But he that is spiritually but he that is spiritually judgeth all things, yet
Read that
he
again.
him,
Read that again. So like read that again from the top.
but he that is spiritual judgeth all things,
Uh-huh.
yet he himself is judged of no man.
You understand that? But he that is spiritual judges all things. You understand? That is the position that a man of the Lord is going to be put into, is to judge all things. You understand? It is up to us, the priests and prophets of the Lord in the ISUPK. As long as we don't drop our sword and we endure into the end, and Yahushua gives us that crown, that crown of life, you understand, and sees us fit to doggone, to judge over every. That's what we're going to be doing, is judging over everything. You understand? Even like the matters like what King Solomon had done with them two sisters that were fighting over the baby. He said, you know what? We just gonna cut the baby in half, and both y'all gonna have halves. You understand? Right. And then he applied that wisdom to find out which one was actually the mother of that baby. That's the position that we are going to be in. You understand? So in other words, we are going to be telling us, hey, sis, this is unacceptable, sis. You need to put some clothes on. You understand? And of course, it's always going to be out of love. You understand? It's going to be correction out of love, so that way that sister or that brother doesn't end up hurting themselves or hurting somebody else. You get what I'm saying? And of course, it finishes off with saying, yet he himself is judged of no man. Now, who can tell me what that means? But that he himself is not going to be judged by a man.
All right, put that in the chat.
Yeah, y'all always remember when y'all partake in these classes, y'all are helping with the algorithm because y'all are putting comments and whatnot. And with that said as well, make sure that y'all hit, y'all smash that like button and also share the class. Baba Kushai.
Most definitely. Khan says Judith 5:20 is a great precept as well.
Yeah, I just seen that.
Let's see.
But you understand, like this right here is letting you know that it's very important for us to have somebody who is spiritual and spiritual with the Most High God. He will be judged by the Most High. Okay, but all right, you're right. He will be judged by the Most High. But right here it's saying, yet he himself is judged of no man. That he himself is talking about the man that is spiritual. So the man that is led by the spirit and not his flesh. What does it mean by that brother that is led by his spirit will be judged by no man? What does that mean? Because we know that men are going to be judged by this man. Because this man, he's not going to be swayed by his flesh. Because you know what conflicts with your logic when you're dealing with the flesh is your feelings. Your feelings get in the way of your logic. You understand? So, but this man is able to put his feelings aside to stick with just simple logic of the law, the spirit of the law. You understand? So he is qualified to deal with the matters, at any matters at hand. You understand? To judge others. You understand? But what does it mean by that? That same man will not be judged by man. I'll give y'all a few more moments. So what is it at 40, at 50? So at 15, 44, 15. If you want to just go ahead and get the answer, priest, you can, or I'll give y'all the answer.
Let's see.
All right, I got 5.
Damn, that was in here a second ago.
I know, man. You know what? For some reason, when somebody gets one wrong in my class, it like scares everybody else, and they just put my hand down.
There was no wrong answer. Just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now you want to take a stab at it, though, priest?
Be judged by no man?
Kind.
Wow, you got that one on them.
No, I mean, ain't no thing. So it says, yet he himself is judged of no man. So in other words, somebody of the flesh is not going to be in the position to judge somebody who, what was it? The question is, okay, so we have 1 Corinthians 2:15 right now, right? Which reads, but he that is spiritual judges all things, yet he himself is judged of no man. My question is what does it mean that he himself is judged of no man? What does that mean that he will not be judged by no man? So at 15 more seconds on the clock. So at 45:30, I'm giving you the answer.
And while we waiting at 15, I wanted to add as also like it was the churches that told us that we should not judge. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I mean? But and this scripture is telling you who's capable of judging. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly. Because he is keeping the law. No, okay. So maybe you misunderstood the question, and maybe you'll get understand when I give y'all the answer. Right? It says, yet he himself is judged of no man, meaning that no man, no carnal man, no man of the flesh that lives by his flesh can judge him. You understand? Best example is, who do y'all think anyone that is walking on the face of this earth now or at any given point of time can judge Yahweh Shai Mashiach? Who can judge or Jesus Christ in the English? Who can judge him? Nobody. But you know who he can judge? Every goddamn body. You understand? Right. And with us following in Yahweh Shai's footsteps, that puts us in that same exact that same seat, so to speak. You understand? Where now we are able to judge everybody else, but nobody can judge you, because first and foremost, what is there to judge you on? We all have to understand first and foremost, and we'll get a little bit more understanding on the terms and conditions of judging according to the Bible, right? But we all have to understand the terms and conditions of judging one another in the first place. You understand? A carnal man who lives his life dictated by his flesh cannot judge a man who is spiritual. Who can tell me why? And we'll put 20 seconds on the clock.
Carnal man cannot judge a spiritual man. Why is that?
You want to take a stab at it, priest?
Let me see what the brother put. If you violate the law, you face judgment.
Okay. You are right about that, but that's not going with my question. Make sure that you stick with what my question was, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my question was about why, Salakia. My question was about the carnal man not being able to, why can't the carnal man judge the spiritual man? And it's simply because of the fact that the man who is spiritual, the man who is led by the spirit of the Most High God, he's faultless, he's blameless. What is there to judge him by anyways? He's already following by the law. The man who is spiritual is not going to sit there and try to judge you by your shoes. He don't give a damn about your shirt, your financial situation. You understand? He's going to judge you according to the law. Because you are living your life carnally, you are living your life by the flesh. You need somebody to judge you. You need somebody to correct you. You need somebody to look out for you. That's what these priests and prophets of the Lord are about, is to make sure that we all stay in line. You understand? Hey, I got the law. I know how we're supposed to keep the law. And when you offend the law, I'm going to tell you that you offended it. I'm going to tell you how you can correct it. And hey, you know what? Out of the sake of brotherhood, man, I'm going to pull you to the side and let you know. But if you want to continue to offend it, you know what, man? Then, hey, you know what the law says. Now we're going to have to take this to council, and you're going to get dealt with according to, the consequences of the law. You understand what I'm saying? So this is why a man, a carnal man who thinks the law is foolish, which means he wants to do what he wants. You understand? All right, Salaki, he's going to do what he wants. Salaki. You understand? So, in other words, he's going to be eating whatever he wants to eat. He's going to be smoking whatever he wants to smoke. He's going to be sleeping with what he wants to sleep with. You understand? And the list goes on and on. You understand? A man of the spirit is not. You understand? That doesn't pertain to him at all. Oh no, what is happening? I think my computer's messing up. Hey, can you still hear me?
I hear you.
Okay, all right, never mind. But y'all understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, ISUPK Buffalo says a carnal man lives in vain philosophies of this world. That's why he cannot judge a spiritual man of the Lord.
And that's an excellent point right there. That's an excellent point right there. Because you know what? Those moral compasses of the world, where do they really point? They point everywhere. They point everywhere because it's all based off of how you feel. You understand? A prime example, since I got into a little debate with one of them little nasty ass pedophile ass following Muslims, they believe that you're not supposed to you ain't supposed to eat pork. We all know that, right? No pork. They everybody knows that Muslims say no pork on my fork. You know that there is a compromise to that. If they believe that they are about to die, so they are in dire need to feed, they are allowed to eat that pork. Then they can eat the pork. You understand? So there's terms and conditions with it. You get what I'm saying? All of it is based off, because mind you, if you feel like you're gonna die, you need to kill that swine. But mind you, it's gonna take you some time to kill it, to goddamn bleed it out, to put it over the fire, make it, so that it's actually safe to eat. Because if you just eat it raw, you might as well just starve to death. Because now you're really gonna die with all them doggone parasites. You get what I'm saying? But the point is they have a compromise to it, and it's all based off of their feelings. You get what I'm saying? Salakia, priest. Did you want to add anything?
Adding to what you just said just now, there's a record in the Apocrypha of a woman and her 7 sons, and they went to death, not eating pork.
Yeah.
So that just shows you altogether that the Quran and the Bible don't coincide with each other. Because we're willing to die for our beliefs, and they're willing to just go into their state of suffering in order to break what they believe in. We don't break our laws. We don't break our laws. We take our laws all the way into our dying breath. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. And then not just that, how you not gonna eat pork, but you touch little girls? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Oh no. So that's the thing. It's not just little girls, right? Like when I was out there in Afghanistan, we had operations to go and shut down some of those. It's not just that. What is his name? Einstein or the not Nickelodeon.
I know you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about? That island where they had the sex circle. They're not the only ones who had it. Them Afghanis had it as well, and the Iraqis, they had it as well. But this is what they did. They would kidnap these little boys between the ages of I think the youngest was like either 4 or 5 years old, and then typically the eldest was like maybe 13 or 14. So we'll say 4 to 14 years old. And they would teach these little boys how to dance, to put on this makeup, and then basically, put on, it wasn't necessarily like a woman's garment, but it was something kind of girlish. And, they would literally get in a circle, and these boys would dance in the circle to try to entice the men. And the men would put bids on these little boys so that they could take them home.
That's wild. Epstein Island. There you go. You got it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Epstein Island. Yeah. The water. You understand? Like that was actually part of some of the military operations that, the Americans had. That's probably the only good thing that they actually effing did while they was in the Middle East, to be quite frank. But you understand, that was part of the military operations we was doing while we was out there, was crashing some of those, they little gay parties. They wasn't just about marrying little girls, man. They was marrying children. It was about children. You get what I'm saying? Salakia.
That's on West. They bury me. Someone.
You know what though? That sounds like it's like I know we kind of sidebarring a bit, but that's a really heavy point, or that's something really heavy, and that's true. That's also a really big. I want to say that came from when the Romans had conquered them at one time. I think that kind of they bled that culture into them. Because like take for example, everybody knows about Alexander the Great. He had a wife and I think like 2 or 3 kids, something like that. But his lover, his actual lover, was one of his generals. It was like a batshit crazy general, but the dude was like, them two was, they was lovers. You know what I'm saying? Like it was very, very common for the Romans. Yeah, Alexander the Freak, right? It was very, very. That's actually funny. I'm using that one because I don't like calling them that. I don't like calling them ATG. I like that one. But it was very common. It was Roman culture for them to, they would have a wife, because procreation, they wanted to continue their seeds, but it was very, very common for them to have a male lover. I mean, hell, if you want, we can get with me after this class, and we can discuss, putting together a whole Greek Roman history on this LGBT elemental P, community, because like just the whole background on like how they used to, man, there's a whole term for them courting the little boys. Like there's a whole thing, man. And like if you want to, I'm with it. We can teach a class on that next week or sometime this month.
Heck yeah.
So like, I didn't mean to steal it from you.
No. We cooking right now. Shoot. I mean, I low-key want to stay on this topic, but
so let's stay on this topic then. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Right.
But shoot, I mean, it all falls through on just, things that are being used as a, I mean, it technically falls in as just don't follow the ways of the heathen, because that is just, that's a what is that? Ain't that an Arabic religion? You know what I'm saying? That's a religion for the Israelites. You know what I mean? And it's religion. You know what I mean? Like we got to learn to be separate, man. Like this is not a religion what we teaching. We don't teach religion. We are not religious. We are a cult. You know what I'm saying?
I want to answer that, brother. You're live, Isupk, Connecticut.
Right.
So the brother said, so it's safe to say that Edomites are born that way. We weren't, but they are. So look, to your question, right? To say that anybody is actually born as a alternative, into the alternative lifestyle is, that's, I can't think of the actual word that I want to use, but that's not, you can't say that. All right, that's not correct. Because you had to listen to what I said, where it was a tradition for the men to go and entice the little boy, or to go and try and court the little boys. So, and I know I didn't say this part that I'm about to say, but so their courtship was basically, see, this is why we should go ahead and just do a doggone class on these. I ain't gonna front. But so the courtship was completely backwards from how we would deal with, like, when we deal with a woman. Whereas, you try to, hey, what's up, mom? What's your name? You looking pretty. Whoa, let me get your number. Blase, blase, blah. If she, engages with your initiation, then we know that she's messing with me. Like, okay, cool. I got the number. Then obviously she was digging me, right?
Right.
Well, what they believe is that when the little boy denied the man, that was part of him flirting. So it was, they didn't call it playing like hard to get, but that was just, they basically believe the little boy was supposed to play hard to get, but it's just simply the little boy is just saying no, like, man, like, leave me alone. I don't even know what the hell you talking about, type thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you talking to me like this, like you talking to me the way that my daddy talked to my mama. Like, I don't understand this. Like, leave me alone. But of course, we know from 12 Shield John Hyman how he had taught several of his classes where they did interviews with these alternative lifestyle people, where it was like somewhere stupid, like 99% of all of them that they interviewed, they asked them, were you touched as a young child? Do you have that type of history where somebody molested you, raped you? And all of them said yes. A lot of them said that they couldn't, the small percentages said that they didn't remember. And then the others they didn't want to answer. But the ones that did answer, they said, yeah, I had my uncle, I had my daddy, I had, the neighbor, my babysitter, what have you. They touched me. You understand? So in other words, like, you got to always remember that, you are a product of your environment. You understand? We are all products of our environment. And you can only go two different ways with your environment. From everything that you absorb from your environment. Either you can say, I don't want this in my life, or I want this in my life. You understand what I'm saying? But when you're at a very young age like that, like I said, some of them, I think the courting age for the Romans was like 5. It was like 5 or 6. They don't understand any other type of life, way of life. They don't understand, once that is initiated on them, that's all they know. You get what I'm saying? And then, of course, they see that their parents, the man still has a woman, he procreates. Oh, okay, so this is the culture. I don't feel very comfortable with it, but hey, this is the culture. I learned to like it. That's why Edomites are the way that they are. It's not that they're born that way. They're a product of their environment. But of course, they just have a wicked, evil spirit on them to be like that. You understand? And just one more thing, and I'll pass it over back to you, Priest. But and one thing that we all got to remember, because I remember when I first started learning this, I'm like, yo, so at what point did a kid grow up and say, okay, I'm gonna start fondling kids or something like that? When everybody was, basically when man and woman was first put onto the earth. Well, you got to think, man and woman was first put onto the earth. So in other words, you have full-grown ass adults trying to, figure out their way. And that's where it started before Adam was given that breath of life. You understand? Because we don't know for sure what all they was doing, but we know that they wasn't doing anything within the law. You understand? And that's where that spirit had came about. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
That so they're born wicked. Okay, I understand. All right. They're wicked from the womb. You are right. They are wicked from the womb. Slacky Sir was just teaching the class in the library about the Lord being against alternative lifestyle for IUIC, right? I used to say that to LGBTQ, IUIC.
IUIC, that is hilarious.
Yeah, I used to say that.
I thought that. I was like, oh, damn.
I used to say that too. Right, you right, sis. Oh, Slacky, did you want to add on to anything, Priest?
I mean, that kind of based on what I was trying to say as far as like the hypersexual people, you know what I'm saying? That stems from people getting too introduced to adult lifestyles or adult sexuality as small children in a mindset where they are so adolescent, they don't have understanding of what's going on. And you know what I mean? Like when you see all these different videos of females and stuff working on little kids and you know what I mean, all that stuff to just they don't understand, like you're adding on to our problems. Like you're literally destroying that child's mental state by over sexualizing everything. They're growing up thinking that, you know what I mean, this is what I need to look for, this is what I need to do. I need, you know what I mean? Like it used to be hella low numbers, me growing up, of kids experiencing like, you know what I mean, like sexual acts and stuff like that. Now it's like it's crazy numbers now. Like I'm talking about down to like the 8s and 7s. Like, oh, I lost my virginity at 8 years old, and you know what I mean. Like we're us as a people, you know what I mean. We're being hurt people hurting other people. You know what I mean. The traumas that we experience, the things that we've been introduced to, from generation to generation, all building up into where we're at right now. You know what I mean? We are hurt people that are hurting other people. We are spreading our traumas down to the generation that is coming up, not knowing that we're continuing that train of destruction for our own people. You know what I mean? That introduction of hyper sexual activities is what is leading our kids into wanting to experience certain things at a young age, or do what the rappers tell them to do or the singers tell them to do. You know what I'm saying? Because they feel like, oh, well, my mama does this and that in front of me. So, you know what I mean? I'm grown enough to watch this or listen to this. I still try to monitor what my kids listen to. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of mindset is not existing anymore. You see people smoking weed in the car with their kids. You see people running trains on females with kids in the house, knowing what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a crazy how can I say, Sodom and Gomorrah type of lifestyle that we are living in this time period. And you know what I'm saying? It's creating monsters and it's creating people. Let me share this video right now, matter of fact, just so I can just go into what I'm talking about.
No, yeah, Baba can shot. That shit's heavy.
So let me see. Keep this out.
It's 24:30. Bruh,
How you see?
but she got a whole airport runway between her legs. That's wild.
Man. And this is the new norm of our sisters this day and age. You know what I'm saying?
Posting like, that's in LAX.
Man,
that on draws. Like that's wild.
And wow. That's the norm for them. Like,
right.
Like women always had the option of variety, but now it's a flex. You know what I'm saying? Like you've always had the option of variety. That's why the Lord loved you so much to give you the opportunity to only have one husband in your life. You know what I'm saying? To solidify yourself as a proper woman. You know what I'm saying? As a woman that's not so promiscuous and wanting to, you know what I mean, desperate for the attention. That's one thing too. Like that trauma phase, that'll lead you into a position of being desperate for attention. You feel like the love of others validates the love that you feel for yourself. So you need that attention from multiple men, multiple different experiences with different men, because you felt like probably that the man that you looked up to wasn't exactly there for you the way he needed to be, or you didn't get that type of love that you wanted growing up, or you probably just, you know what I mean, were in a position where you faced a certain type of trauma, or you faced that main trauma, which is that sexual abuse trauma. You know what I'm saying? Which is a lot of our children are facing today. You know what I'm saying? But it's hypersexualizing our women to feeling like variety makes you valid. It makes you it solidifies you into a seat of, oh, I'm that person. I'm the person who is accepted in society because I'm able to not just be able to have a variety of different men, but you know what I mean, I practice my ability to be able to get this dude or this dude or this dude or this dude or this dude. And not just that, the separation between men and women, that's also a tactic used from our oppressors as well. You know what I mean? This battle between black men and black women. You know what I'm saying? All these things are being used in a sense of adding on to the issues that we already have. They already shown us plenty of tactics of taking the man out the house through drugs, through what is it? What do you call that stuff again? Is it not Social Security, but the government assistance?
I want to say child support. I mean, technically, in a way, it's child support.
Child support as well.
Well, government. You just say government assistance.
Government assistance. When it was okay for you to get government assistance, but you had to not have a man in the house. Welfare. There you go. Boom. You know what I'm saying? So they've already shown us plenty of different tactics of how they want the women to be separated from the man. Why? Is because the woman is vulnerable. The woman has the kids in the house. So you destroy her, you destroy the next generation to come. You know what I'm saying? So this is the thing. Now we're in a position where not only are they hyperly sexualizing our women, but they're also spreading a a stigma of a battle between the black man and the black woman. So now all the podcasts between men and women are the most successful. When the woman is talking dirt about the man is talking dirt about the woman. They're all the most successful because black men and black women are at battle with each other right now. You know what I'm saying? And that's just a tactic from our oppressor to keep us separated from each other, because if you separate it, you can't, you know what I mean? You're not working as a unit. It's easy to infiltrate you. It's easy to attack you when you are in your most vulnerable state. You know what I'm saying? When you have the scriptures, you got Amalek attacked from the rear. You know what I mean? He waited for the soldiers to pass by, and he attacked all the feeble people, the women, the children. You know what I mean? The old people. That's his way of attack. Right. And he does that today too, but in a spiritual manner. You know what I mean? We don't fight carnally right now. We fight against we find a spiritual battle and against principalities. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what our battle is at. So it's time. It's about that time for us to wake up and not follow the bitter woman mindset, not follow the bitter man mindset. You know what I mean? Start working as a unit, find a unit, you know what I mean, and stick to that unit. You know what I mean? Like it's so many different tactics that our oppressors have used against us to make the woman leave the household, to make the men leave the household. You know what I'm saying? But going off of that video is a hypersexualized woman. She probably is not sleeping with all those men, but I guarantee you she's sleeping with probably more than 5 of them. You know what I mean? And not sleeping with all of them doesn't stop her from being a whore, because all she's doing is being the representation for her. She could have just been sleeping with one of them. At the end of the day, she's still a whore. You know what I mean? Because her mindset, her lifestyle, her character is based off of being a whore.
We all know,
you know what I'm saying?
She's sleeping with every single one of them, man.
I mean, we know, but I'm trying to give her the benefit of a doubt. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she's not.
Hey, man, listen. That's brides need to be held accountable for their actions. Every single one of them, you know damn well she needs to be held accountable for all of them. All the sisters need to be held accountable for that. You know what I'm saying? If you, because it's like this, right? You know, just like how if we see a sister walking down the street and she's dressed a certain way, we deal with her a certain way. And you know what? In her mind, you know what? You know, and it could be. Allegedly, it's the truth. You know, I'm not even like that. You just judging me on my outward appearance, this, that, and the other. But yet, that's how I'm going to portray you. Is that you are dressed like a whore? So you know what? I'm gonna deal with you like a whore. As a matter of fact, I don't even want to go and talk to you. You know, you might say something. Your little spittle might give me herpes simplex. I'm not risking that. Jesus Christ. I'm not risking that, man. You understand? Right. But and all of these sisters need to be treated the same exact way across the board, because that's what I was saying earlier about accountability. That's why it's so important for us to judge each other righteously, so that way everybody will be held accountable for their actions. You want your action being, you want to dress like a whore, or you want to take these photos with all these men. But we just started June. And how many different men? You said at least 5 of them. I didn't count. I was in awe with the fact that she was, you know, it was a new man every 3 seconds. There was a new slide with another dude, and it's like I didn't even have time to even think to count. Like there was, and there was that many men. If we were to sit there and just treat her like the whore that she is portraying herself to be, and of course, a consequence that follows with that soon after, where the only thing that she can actually get is them dirty, nasty ass men that only deal with whores. But you know what those men have? Herpes simplex. Well, guess what? That is your choice pool. That's your consequence for acting that way. You understand? If we hold each other to that, to that standard, of course, you know, righteously, man, these women, they're gonna stop doing that. They're going to stop acting like that. They're gonna stop, you know, getting ran through these men. And it's also the same thing with men as well. You understand? Where, you know, if you want to stop, if you don't want people to look at you like you you LGBTQ, you're not gonna get the same wardrobe that Shannon Sharp got. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna walk through the goddamn airport with a little fucking Yorkie, in some tight ass jump pants on with no fucking socks. Like, come on, man, that's crazy. Salaki. Right. That sock thing is disgusting to me. I was raised better than that. My daddy would tell you, Salaki the sidebar. My daddy would tell you I would be 1 year old. I was an escape artist. I would be 1 year, 1.5, building up with phone books and stuff. I build a ladder and our steps and hop over the little wall of our apartment. And then he'd come home from work. I'd be nothing in a diaper and my shoes and socks on. Shoes and socks was big. My dad would whoop my ass. You know what I'm saying? So ever since I was little, I knew to put shoes and socks on. You ain't got no damn socks, boy. You so damn twisted. And you know damn well you don't find no-show socks in the man's aisle. You got to go to the female's aisle. You get what I'm saying? So if you want to be treated by the part of which you look, then you're gonna dress. It's like what they say, because I can't put the words together, Salaki. It's like what they say. You dress up for the job that you want. You dress for, you put on the appearance for the position that you want. You get what I'm saying? And you want to be in that position of a whore or, alternative lifestyle or what have you, you're going to dress and act the doggone part. But the thing is, if we, us that know better, it's our job because we want these things to stop. We got to hold them accountable. We got to call them out and hold them accountable. Can't catch no break.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I wanted to get into your point of what you were talking about shaming too. Like, people think that shaming is just the worst thing ever now. Like, I had a situation earlier with a sister, like she was just posting that she wanted every dude to send they ride to her DM, and just like in a regular post, a public post. Like, if you got a horse ride, send it to my DM. That's what she put. I put, damn, these females are thirsty these days. I put it in her comments, and she made it seem as if, well, her perspective is that men that have a perspective want to shame women is either lame or sassy. So I'm like,
that's like, go ahead.
Oh no, you can go ahead.
I was gonna say, you know what that's a consequence of though? The fact that she's responding that way, and of course that she's gonna have some simps back her up. You know what that's a consequence though of feminism and the male-female equality. That's where it all comes from. But it's like, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just that.
The thing about it is, how I feel is like when how I responded is just like, you made a public post of being a slut. If you can't take the public shaming, then don't be a public slut. Point blank, period. If you want to hear my opinion on how I feel about you being a slut, then don't make your public slutting, you know what I mean? Don't make your public whorism as a public to the people online, because I mean, I got a perspective just as well as the thirsty beta males got a perspective of what they want from you, because pretty much all they want is your box anyways. You know what I'm saying? So I have a perspective, me being who I am, is that you being thirsty, you want attention, and you want, you a hypersexualized woman. Maybe you've been through some, sexual abuse in your past, whatever it was. But I see through all that hypersexualism. I'm gonna look at what caused the reason for you even sending that post out to the world. Right. Because obviously you're looking for something. You're looking for some type of attention. You need to be publicly shamed. There we go. Slut shaming, banning slut shaming from Amber Rose. Man, it's like people don't want to be shamed. They just want to be as wicked as they want to be. Like, righteousness should not exist anymore. I should feel and do whatever I want to do, and I shouldn't be shamed about it. But what does the Bible say? I'm gonna read the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 26 and verse 25. It says,
I'll read it for you. I
got it right here. You good?
You sure?
Yeah, I got it.
Right.
It says, a shameless woman shall be counted as a dog, but she that is shamefaced will fear the Lord. If you have an issue with shaming, it's because you feel some type of sensitivity that what you're doing is actually wrong. You know what you're doing is wrong, and that's why you have hostility towards someone having to. I accidentally put a question mark in the title instead of putting a slash. I meant to put a slash sign. There is no question mark. If y'all can ignore that title, Las Vegas / SoCal, not question mark SoCal. I'll try to fix that later. But you know what I mean? I just noticed that just now. But yeah, so the Lord is saying that shaming, there's nothing wrong with shaming. You know what I mean? When you see a whore, call him a whore. When you see an idiot, call him an idiot. You know what I mean? You see somebody doing something stupid, as long as it's a righteous judgment, you know what I mean? Just call it for what it is. You know what I mean? I'm not going to sit back and be like, oh yeah, well, you know what I mean? Dig into my own lust, like, oh yeah, you right about that. Let me, you funny for sending that. That wasn't funny. That was desperate. You were desperate for attention. You were desperate for men to like you, and there's something deeper than just the post in general. You're battling something. You're battling some type of trauma that happened in your life, and you feel like being sexualized makes you acceptable to society, and you feel that you made your place in society because now people can accept you because they just want to sleep with you. That's it. You know what I mean? Like, come on now. It's time for us to wake our sisters up. It's for a responsibility for our brothers as well. You know what I'm saying? If you are not so weak and just dwelling on the box of a woman, you know what I'm saying? If you actually just look deeper than that, you know what I'm saying? Look deeper than just the sexual part of a relationship, you'll be able to see the traumatizing things that comes with women wanting to have OnlyFans, women wanting to be strippers, women wanting to be prostitutes, women hungry for attention, dressing like freaking sluts in the street just so men can speak to them. You know what I mean? You can dig deeper to that, and you'll find that there's something that you don't need to be attracted to when it comes to that. You know what I mean? Because that is just going to ruin your household. Yeah, you probably going to get that relief feeling that you was looking for those after those couple of minutes, but at the end of the day, you just spent a lifetime. You know what I mean? You just made a lifetime gamble with somebody. You know what I mean? Because of your own temptation. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't no telling what they carrying. It's no telling what they gonna be carrying after y'all get done doing what you're doing. You don't know what the outcome of the situation could be. You know what I'm saying? So it's just be attracted and give the attention to the woman who's actually displaying herself as an artist, as a modest woman, a virtuous woman, a woman who covers herself, a woman who demands respect as far as just she's unique within her personality, not within what she's carrying on her body parts. You know what I'm saying? Like, just be like, find that attraction into that. Don't be so quick to just, oh, well, she look good. 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 You know what I'm saying? Find something deeper than that. And then we can solve this problem as far as women feeling like the attention comes from them being sluts, because that is just a tactic within itself. You know what I'm saying? We can find something deeper within people wanting to be part of the LGBTQ IUIC community. You know what I'm saying? We can find something deeper than that as far as what they are as a person, because a lot of these people have been abused as children, been hypersexualized as children. You know what I'm saying? And they're just following suit, thinking that this is just the normal. This is just how life is. And it's not. This isn't how life should be. This is just creating another destroyed generation for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You know what I'm saying? That's all I got. You got something on that?
No, yeah. Actually, let's go to 1 Corinthians 6:2, if you don't mind, right? You know, this ain't directly to it, to that point that you just brought out, but you know, it does kind of touch up on it. You know what I'm saying? This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 2. Do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world? So you understand? This is a question that is being asked. Do you not know this? You understand? Which is also letting everybody know that, you know what, judgment is necessary. You understand? It is necessary for us to judge. And of course, you know, I know I'm repeating myself, but you know what? I am a nigga, and I'm doing the same thing that the nigga God does, and the niggas that wrote this book. You understand? When I'm trying to make a goddamn point and get through your quick ass skulls, because y'all so goddamn stiff-necked people. You understand? I'm gonna repeat myself, right? Judgment is necessary. Of course, there's terms and conditions to it, how we're supposed to judge each other. But we know in the ISUPK is to judge each other righteously according to the law. You understand? And if the world, read it on, and if the world shall be judged by you, are ye unworthy to judge the smallest matters? You know what some of them smallest matters are? Is some of the things that we're talking about right now. You understand? Something that is so small that can be corrected immediately. You understand? Now, it's not necessarily a small thing for somebody to be touched at a young age. You understand? Or, yeah, you know, to be hypersexualized or even being put into a position where they're sexually confused. You understand what I'm saying? That's not necessarily a small thing, but you know what is a small thing, a small token of brotherhood is to give that brother or sister counseling so that they can heal. So that way, when they become of age, they know at the back of their mind, just like, you know, just like whenever we, you know, like I hear Officer Shabal when I'm about to do something stupid, and I know it's about to be stupid. I don't want to hear this man voice. You hear that? Hurrah. Do I want to hear that? You know what I'm saying? Or what it really is like, because, you know, I'm one of them people who just ask any question. You know, I'm about to ask him, yeah, go ahead, hit me with it. You know what I'm saying? I hear that in the back of the head. It's the same exact thing when you're getting, even though it's healing, you are still that voice for that person when it comes to, you know, when they are put in that position of, hey man, I'm about to be somewhere where, you know, I might get triggered. And this is actually, I know that society has brutalized that damn word triggered. You know what I'm saying? With the whole, you know, trying to get underneath everybody's skin and stuff like that. But when you're actually talking about PTSD, you know, that triggered is a very necessary, necessary terminology. You know what I'm saying? When you're about to get triggered because somebody is being a little bit too aggressive on a sister, or, you know, whatever the situation may be, you know, that brother, that sister will have your voice at the back of their mind where, oh, you know what? This is how Officer General Captain told me to handle this. Wooty wooty whoop. Okay, you know what? Let me just hold down. Let me just follow that through. Salakia. You understand? Let me just follow through with those, you know, that ABC step, that 1, 2, 3 step of which they showed me. And you know what's going to end up happening because they was given that? Man, they're not going to be whores. They're not going to be homosexuals. They're not going to be, you know, selling pictures of the demon's eye, of Satan's eye on the internet. You understand? If none of y'all know what that means, then good, you know. But still, you understand? They're not going to be doing wicked things. You get what I mean? All because they were given those, you know, that type of counseling. And somebody actually said something earlier in the chat. Yeah, Connecticut. Hey, I just so you know, if you're not tracking, like we don't do classes like that for that type of counseling. You understand? Like, of course, we'll talk about it like how we're talking about it now, but like as far as like, because you said yourself included, you know, that's something that you seek out your respective camp leader. Man, let him know, hey, Salakia, sir, this is what's going on. Woo, woo, woo. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like take for example, you know, like I'll use because you know, I'll use myself for example. You know, like I went to war in Afghanistan. You know, I got my little issues here and there. I sought out the men above me, so that way I could get certain things, you know, smoothed out. You get what I'm saying? It does help to to what you just said, and it doesn't matter what the issue is, because you got to remember that the scripture does say that, and I'm just going to paraphrase and we ain't going to pull it, but the scripture does say that confession is good for the soul. You get what I'm saying? And confession isn't necessarily you just saying, oh, I did this. No, it can be as simple as, hey, Salaki, this is what happened to me. I haven't healed from this. I'm struggling with dealing with this. I need help. You understand? Your confession is you saying, I need help with this said thing. And that's going to be good for your soul. I feel you, but it's good to hear our people talking about it and being so understanding. I appreciate it. It makes me feel safer, like I can trust y'all. Been alone most of my life and doing. No, hey, that's the thing, bro. You got to understand, nigga, like everybody in the ISUPK, like we ain't got no, nobody is in the ISUPK that just ain't really been through nothing. Actually, let me retract that. The only ones who haven't been through anything that are in the ISUPK are, like my sons, because they were born into this. Is the children that were born into the ISUPK. You understand? Other than that, like, bro, I am one of them ones who will very quickly tell you and look at my hands, look at the blood on my hands and say, I don't know why I was spared, but the Lord saw something special in me that he could use me for to benefit our nation. That's the most I can say. You understand what I'm saying? That's right. I made my confession to my camp leader, since I was a young man. I used to be in East Side's military. No, I was in East Side's army, my doggone self. You understand? But, just the point is, if you need that help, you need that guidance, you make sure that you say something, speak up. You understand? Because, you gotta think of it like this, man. So first and foremost, look back to what the title says, adding to our problems. Everything that we've already talked about so far in the class today is what's been adding to the problems of our people. But something that we haven't really touched on too much, but we're talking about it right now, that does add on to our problems is the fact that we don't talk about our problems. Hey, can you do me a solid and look up for me on do well to communicate, I think is what it says. Baba Kashad, can you pull that precept for me, Baba Kashad? You understand? It's important for us to communicate these things, because you got to think, man, like, okay, so you were saying, one brother said that he was in East Side's military just like myself. Another brother might have this terrible backstory. You might have that terrible backstory, this, that, and the other. When you have a problem that you do not know how to solve and you just allow it to fester, that's the thing, is you're allowing it to fester. Festering is something that, that like bad bacteria does. It festers. Fungi, things that will end up killing you. Something that festers turns into something that will kill you, that becomes deadly. You understand? That's why it's important to goddamn, wash your dishes after you're done using them, because if you don't do it, the bacteria on it will fester and then become something deadly, whether you ingest it or if you inhale it. You understand what I'm saying? So it's important for us to get it out, man. Get it out there. Let somebody know that you need help with whatever it is that you need help with, so then that way you can get it washed out. I know that sounds a little bit Christian, you know what I'm saying? To, wash away your problems. That's not what I mean, though. But what I do mean is that you use your brothers to help you get that wickedness out of you. Because when you sitting there, laying in bed at night thinking about, replaying over and over, and I'm talking about, personal experience right now. Replaying over and over again, getting woke the hell up because a goddamn, a mortar hit your damn barracks, and you got to pop up, get your gear on, get the hell out, and get to the fight within a, hell, I only have like 5 minutes, you know what I'm saying, to go and get into the fight. Like, that replays. I had to talk to somebody about that. You know what I'm saying? To get past that, to even be able to talk about that. You get what I'm saying? Hey, did you find that for me already?
I got it.
Read that for me, Baba Kashad.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 13 and verse 16. But to do good and to communicate, forget not, for with such sacrifices God is well pleased.
Now, man, there's a specific word in there. I want to see if somebody can tell me that specific word in that verse, and I want you to read it one more again. There's a specific word that should stand out to everybody that is so important. Read it one more time for me, Baba Kashad.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 13 and verse 16. But to do good and to communicate, forget not, for with such sacrifices God is well pleased.
What is the important word that everybody needs to know that is in this verse that we just read. I'm gonna put, we're gonna do 30 seconds from now. Because I mean, shit, it's lucky. Y'all over here, you know, we having a whole full-on conversation. We ain't having no delay now.
Ain't no wait 20 seconds for this one.
Yeah. No, see, y'all done effed it up, man. Y'all messed up the game. Okay, so I got 2 for communicate. All right, I'm gonna give y'all 5 more seconds because I know there was another brother that was participating and saying something. So I'm waiting for Buffalo. Hey, Priest, which word do you think it is that we should be, you know, that you should really hold on to that should stand out in that verse?
I mean, for me, it wasn't just a word. It was for with such sacrifices, God is well pleased.
Okay,
that's what stood out the most for me. That's what I was kind of just.
Okay, somebody else said well pleased. Oh, see, now the system want to change up her word, her choice. Now you already submitted. This was written in pen. It's already been submitted. It's written in stone. We see that. We see it. You changed it. You can't change it. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm trying to give Buffalo some time. I'll give him until 15 seconds. Stop using the vote. This ain't a A, B, and C, D questionnaire.
Using them both.
Sister said, Lord is pleased. Okay. So what the priest said, that's where it is sacrifice. I mean, you said the whole phrase, but it's sacrifice. You understand? Sacrifice is the key word in this whole thing. And of course, you know, read it one more time again for me, Baba Kashai.
Come on. But to do good and to communicate, forget not. For with such sacrifices, God is well pleased.
You understand? It's letting you know what will please the Most High God. You simply communicating is something that is good to the Most High God. But mind you, when I want y'all to think about your situation, whatever you may be going through, and it's something that you telling yourself, man, like I know I need help, but I don't want to talk about it. And I 100% understand that. Through and through, I understand. I totally understand that. That's why it's called a sacrifice. You are sacrificing something that you want, something that you are sacrificing your comfortability, your what's another word? Your comfortability, your I had it on the tip of my tongue. I guess you can say. Say again.
Comfort zone.
Comfort zone. Yeah, because I was gonna say insecurity. You understand? You are sacrificing all of that to do what? To make yourself better, so that you can heal. You understand what I'm saying? And of course, when you simply ask of the Lord tells you He'll give it to you. Man, you going to a priest and prophet of the Lord and letting them know, it's like it, sir. I've got an issue. I've got a problem. I don't know how to deal with it. I need help. Making that humiliation. There we go. You not humiliating yourself. How do you say that correctly? You showing humiliation. That's how you say it. You showing humiliation so that you can receive the help that is required so that you can heal. Man, the Lord will reward you with that, with the fact that, hey, you know, you said earlier that you appreciate the fact that we talk about these types of things in the classes. So I'll continue to talk about myself. You know, I sleep a little bit better at night. I can actually, you know, some nights I can actually sleep through the night when I don't have my goddamn kids coming in my room. You get what I mean? You know, they both under 2 years old, so you know it's a damn wrestling match. But you get what I'm saying? Like I can, you know, there are times where I will actually get my 4 nights rest, and that all comes from the fact that I actually sought out help to get healed. You understand? And that goes along with anything else. It doesn't matter if, like, it's not just pertaining to me just being, you know, a veteran in East Side's military. It can be a woman who, you know, was sexually assaulted. It can be a brother who, you know, it can be something as small as like it just eats you the hell up that you wasn't there, you know, when somebody died on their deathbed and you knew you could have been there. It doesn't matter what it is. If something is festering in your mind and you don't address it, that when it, like I said, something that festers turns I just used the doggone word, man. You know, speaking is not my strong point. Salaki. It turns deadly. Salaki. Shit. Salaki. You understand what I'm saying? No, these things, you know, they become deadly. And just like what the sister said, she said so heavy because the demon wants you alone, giving yourself counsel. No, I mean, you're right. You are right, sis. The demon does want you there, but its end game is that while you're alone long enough, it ends up killing you. A demon's job is to get blood. Right. They thirst for blood. Whatever it is, whatever a demon is, we can say harassing, is, you know, hovering over, whatever the demon is inflicting pain on, it wants blood from that thing. Right. You understand? It's as simple as that. So if you're sitting there, I feel like I'm getting depressed. You know, I feel like, you know, I feel like there's nobody there for me. You know, I feel weak. I feel like I can't do this. Those words, those thoughts, that's a demon. You understand? It's a demon that's saying that to you. So then that way there's that one day, because it only takes that one time. It only takes that one time where you say, I can't do this no more. And then you deal with yourself off. You understand what I'm saying? It only takes the demon to get you to that point one time. And then, hey, it won. You understand? Then it won. It did its job because it got you to spill your own blood. Even in the, you know, it wants you to spill others' blood, but it also wants you to spill your blood. You are its main priority. You understand? So it's your job to make sure that, and this is for everybody, it is your job to make sure that you go get the counseling that is required. You understand? To deal with whatever problems that you have. You understand? Because quite frankly, if you can't come to terms with solving your own problems, how am I supposed to, you know, me coming, you know, a dumbass Christian on the street, how do you expect me to come to you for you to solve my problems, but yet you can't even find the solution to your own? Right. You understand? And finding the solution to your own problems, that does not mean you doing it all by yourself. No. That just simply means you do what is necessary to get it solved. You understand? Take, for example, if you were to hire somebody, like take, for example, you know, I'm about to hire somebody to do some yard work in my backyard in due time, right? I want to put some grass back there, you know, run some water lines because I want to put a pond in my front yard, the whole shebang, right? So if the one company that I hired is like, yo, I'm not able to do this, but what are they able to do? Hey, this is what we're going to do, Mr. Hamilton. You know, I got this partner company that does this part of the job, you know, and we'll cut them this cut, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop, but we're going to get it done. I'm just letting you know that there's going to be another truck outside with a different logo on its truck, but they're coming to do the job you hired me to do. The point is, hey, I'm going to get the job done. It doesn't matter what kind of help I need to get. I'm going to get that help so that the job can be completed. You understand? So, like, I know I kind of went long-winded with that. You go ahead and get it. I'm going to read the comment.
No, you hit every detail, my brother. Shoot, I mean, I'm kind of close on this subject, but just as far as like going back to the depth of the whole situation, us as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we have enough issues as it is. You know what I'm saying? We have enough problems that we have to deal with as it is to cause more harm to ourselves. We should be thriving to live righteously just because of the case that the world is against us. You know what I'm saying? We should be setting the standard of a righteous people instead of a lawless, ignorant type of animalistic type of people. You know what I'm saying? Like, all we're doing is causing more harm to ourselves than we are helping ourselves. We have to start looking at the end game of our situation. Care about the children more than we care about what's going on in our lives and why we can't establish this relationship, or why we can't hold this job or this job. You know what I mean? Why we can't get this career or this career. We stop worrying so much about ourselves and just be happy with just making it through. You know what I'm saying? We put so much expectations on ourselves, and that's why it's hard for a Black family, Hispanic family to stay together, because all these expectations of what success and true value really is unrealistic. So because we're trying to reach an unrealistic goal, that's how we split apart and become separate. Sometimes you just got to be happy with the person you with. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to be happy with the slave that you at. As long as you're able to make it through, it shouldn't matter. But you teach your children to make it in a different pattern that you did. That way that they can overcome those steps that you fell short from. You know what I'm saying? And that's how a generation thrives. You care about the children more. You make that representation. You make sure that the next generation goes past the mistakes that you made. You don't publicize and live the trauma that you've been through. You know what I'm saying? You don't hypersexualize a child because you were not protected as a child when you were younger, and you know what I mean, you might have been, you know what I mean, being put in a position where you were abused. You know what I'm saying? You don't put your child in that same position by, you know what I mean, consistently leaving them with who you want to while you out and about all hours of the night doing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? We got to set an example of what it is to be truly a righteous Black and Hispanic and Native male or female. You know what I'm saying? Live it now. Like, just cut the things you do on if you see what you're doing on a daily basis is unproductive, then cut those things off. You know what I'm saying? And just spend a little time with yourself for a minute and try to find a productive lifestyle that you can live. You know what I'm saying? Because the lifestyle that we see today are just, we are destroyed as a people. You know what I'm saying? We've been infiltrated, we've been manipulated, we've been used, we've been abused, and we're living that trauma. And we need to start setting an example so that the generation to come doesn't have to be as bad as we are. And Lord, shoot, I'm just even worse, because it's a possibility it could be worse. You know what I'm saying? There's always a possibility it could be worse. You know what I mean? But that's why we have to be that example. Don't be what society wants you to be. Be what the Lord wants you to be. But that's all I got.
That's heavy. Hey, let's jump over to Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 6. It's funny, sister brought that out. She posted that, but Slick wanted to go there anyways. You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and read that. Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 6, right? Which reads, oh, okay, go ahead.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 6. So Lockheed, what the heck was that? It's like in my phone. Okay, so it says, keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
You understand? So, I mean, if we all sit here following the law, statutes, and commandments, this is how the other nations are going to view us. We all know how they're viewing us now. And like what I said earlier, we're just an economical token. You understand? That's how they view us, because that's how they treat us. You understand? But when we look at Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 6, when we are following the law, statutes, and commandments, everybody's gonna look at us and be like, damn, that's a wise nation right there. You understand? Right. You know, they don't eat bats, so clearly they're not spreading, you know, things like COVID-19. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they don't allow their men and women to be alternative lifestyle, you know, brothers and sisters. So clearly they're not spreading around herpes gonorrhea. You know what I'm saying? They're not allowed to be whores. You know, they're not whoremongers. So again, no herpes gonorrhea. You know what I'm saying? These things are going to make us, you know, that it is our wisdom. The Most High gave it to us for our wisdom. It's just the problem is, man, we lack accountability, man. We don't want we don't want to be in a situation where we have to take accountability for our actions. So that's why we try to hide, you know, within the other nations and their cultures. Prime example, just look at Adam and Eve. When Adam and Eve, when the Most High was looking for Adam and Eve, what did, you know, what did they do? They you know, they dressed themselves in fig leaves, right? Wait, was it fig leaves? You know, they dressed themselves. The point is they dressed themselves in the culture of the other nations. You get what I mean? So, and to hide themselves, they hid themselves in the ways of the other nations. You get what I'm saying? Because they knew that they messed up. They was too hard-headed to follow the ways of the Lord. So they knew they was also going to get dealt with. You know, you get what I'm saying? That's us today, all over again. And we have to take away from that and be prepared to face the music. You understand? We want to play the instruments, but we don't want to face the music. You get what I'm saying? And we need to step away from that. You get what I mean? We don't like to fucking Hey, you know what? That's an issue with the people who ain't familiar with the ISUPK. Like technically, you are right. A beautiful thing to see newborns born into the truth. No, you're right. I know Most High Christ, but you get what I'm saying. We can be put at a higher standard, looked at onto a higher standard, just by simply listening to the Most High. We will be above everybody just by obeying the Most High God. But us simply not obeying the Most High God puts us beneath everybody else. So it's an easy flip. It's a very easy flip. You just got to be willing to work, to put in that work. Salakia. Did you have anything you want to add on to that? Nah,
I'm good. I'm straight for the night. My brother.
No, yeah, Khan, same as well.
All right. So with that, you know what I mean? The water for y'all tuning in. Get the Most High hand. You know what I'm saying? The brothers in the super hand. You know what I'm saying? The sisters. You know what I'm saying? The water for y'all tuning in, man. Southern California, Las Vegas, colliding. You know what I mean? I had an excellent time. Hopefully my brother Iraq want to collide again. We can mash these two brotherhood classes together because this was definitely an excellent topic, excellent class. You know what I'm saying? Most High in Christ. You got something?
No, most definitely. We for sure gotta do this again. No, for sure.
Most definitely. All right. With that, I want to say shalom, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua to Barakathum to the brothers. Shalom, Yahweh Shamar, the thumb Hashem Yahushua to the sisters. The water for y'all tuning in.